So it is a simple agenda as we discussed. So welcome everyone. I guess in this meeting is just kind of Michael seeing us live, but hopefully other people will watch this video later on. So this is the business meeting of the teaching community at SMS. And why don't we go quickly kind of through those who are here and who are in the leadership team, and we have just a quick intro. So I'm Felipe Montero. I'm a professor of strategy here at INSEAD, and I'm the chair of the IG this year. Maureen, you're going to go next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Maureen Meadows. I'm Professor of Strategic Management at Coventry University in the UK, and I'm the Associate Programme Chair this year.
Scott?
Yes, hello all. I'm Scott Livingood. I'm coming from Boulder, Colorado, University of Colorado. I think, Maureen, I'm actually the Associate Program Chair. I think you're the Assistant Chair or something along those lines.
I'm the Program Chair. I'm always hopeless with titles. I apologize. Felipe is Chair. I'm Program Chair. You're Associate Program Chair. Is that right?
There we go.
Did I get it right this time? Apologies.
I think that's correct. We're all working together anyway, but yes, I think that's the official way that it goes. Nice to see you all.
Thank you, Scott. And you know, maybe for everyone here, it is right when you are elected for Associate Program Chair is a 3-year term. So first year you are Associate Program Chair, second year you are the Program Chair, and third year you are the Chair. We also have some reps at large here. The first one I see is you, Aisha.
Okay, hi, good morning or good afternoon or good evening, everybody. My name is Aisha Malhotra. I am an associate professor at the University of Calgary, and it's been a pleasure to be part of this leadership team in the teaching community, and I'm just a rep at large. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Aisha. Andrea.
I'm Andrea Hodge, a 5th year PhD candidate in the strategy program at Florida State University on the market this year. Also a rep at large.
Thank you, Andrea. Candace.
Hi, everyone. It's so awesome to see so many friendly faces online instead of in person. So it's good to see you all. I'm a rep at large. I'm an associate professor in strategy at University of Houston downtown. Since this is the teaching community, you may find this interesting. I'm actually also enrolled at Harvard and getting a master's in higher ed.
Super. Thank you all. I think the main goal of this meeting today is to share with the broader community what is the program for SMS Istanbul that we have, kind of the conference, the pre-conference on Saturday and Sunday, then the competitive program, and then there are a few things about social, webinar, newsletter, elections, and so on and so forth. So why don't we start with you, Scott, giving us an update of what should we wait for in terms of the Saturday PDW and the Sunday panels?
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. So it's going to be a little bit different this year. Unfortunately, we had one proposal. We're only allowed one proposal as an interest group. Or as a community, I guess, for the Saturday workshop. And unfortunately, it didn't get accepted. So we don't really have a strong teaching presence on the Saturday of the session. But hopefully we make up with that a little bit on the Sunday side of things. So we're doing something a little different this year. We're slotted 3-panel allotment on Sunday. And what we've decided to do this year is make them actually all connected, all related. We partnered with the Global Strategy Interest Group. So what we're doing is basically looking at, and this was the theme of the workshop that we presented or we submitted on Saturday, is looking at grand challenges faced by business today, focusing a lot on emerging markets and those kinds of areas since we're going to be in Istanbul, but especially looking at, again, big things, big challenges, big issues that are going on, geopolitics, those kinds of things. But we're looking at it from 3 different perspectives. The first panel then is deans of business schools around the world and getting kind of their perspective from a business school. How do we see these grand challenges? What are the major issues facing business leaders today? That's panel one. Panel two then is practitioners. Several of them from the region and from Istanbul, others from around the area, to kind of, I guess, respond and also embellish on some of those grand challenges to get not only the academic side of things, that perspective, but also the practitioner perspective. And then we are kind of pulling that together in the third hour with academics, with instructors. And so basically the idea is to translate the topics that are discussed during panel one and panel two into actionable curriculum, assessments, activities, skills that we can then teach our graduating business leaders so that they can face and overcome some of the challenges that were identified. So they're all going to be related. I expect probably that third hour, there might be a little bit of a drop off because it is going to be so teaching focused, but that's where we can shine and hopefully get a lot of participation from the teaching community and those who are more teaching minded. But we're trying to, again, get those kind of three perspectives that are all working together to kind of share that. And then that third hour essentially is going to replace the workshop theme that we would have done on Saturday. So it's going to be a little bit more workshop-y as opposed to just a simple panel. We'll actually break up into tables and to groups to discuss some of the topics that were highlighted earlier, and then come up with practical solutions of how we can actually teach our students to face those challenges. So that's kind of the Saturday, Sunday activity. I don't know if there's any questions or any comments on those, but hopefully it'll be a great way for us to get involved and, again, hear those different perspectives from those constituents there at the conference.
Thank you so much, Scott. And I really like that this year you put together not only kind of things together with the global strategy, but also getting local people involved. So we really take advantage of going to another country and enjoying kind of some local knowledge that's happening there. Maureen, what do we have in terms of competitive sessions?
Thanks, Philippe. Yeah, well, as colleagues will know, we're quite a small teaching community, or quite a small IG in terms of number of papers submitted, not in terms of membership, but I guess lots of people tend to submit to their research area perhaps rather than submitting a teaching paper. We have just 2 sessions, which I think is similar to previous years. So if you want to mark your calendar, on the Monday we have a session at 1:30 in the afternoon, and on the Tuesday we have a session at 2:45 in the afternoon. So the 1:30 session on Monday is full papers. That's 4 full papers, and the title of the session is Teaching Future Strategists, Practice and Co-Creation. Without going into all the details, we've got a session on becoming a strategy practitioner, how a practice base can approach a strategy teacher. That's from Duncan Angwin and Robert Demir. We've got types of ambiguity in co-creation settings in strategy education, Isabella Dittmar and Christoph Breilmeyer. Methods for new venture development and entrepreneurship training from Eric Mota. And then strategic leadership in the age of AI from Sabina Reisinger and colleagues. So that's our full paper session on the Monday afternoon. And then on the Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday at 1:30, we have a common ground session. So we've got 5 papers in that session, and the theme is Teaching Future Strategists, Learning Under Uncertainty. So we've got a paper by Rod Schroeder using an example of a student-led university spin-out. We've got Teaching Strategy to Undergraduate Students, Durable Learning from Duncan Duke. We've got Mazi Razar on Embracing Complexity and Transformative Thinkways. We've got Asalbayek Nogabashov on Exploring the Practice of Strategic Formulation in Kazakhstan context. And finally, Scenario Planning at a Time of Crisis, which is myself and a couple of colleagues. So I hope, 2 really interesting sessions, one Monday afternoon, one Tuesday afternoon. As I say, 1 full papers, 1 common ground papers. So we've had some really, really interesting submissions, I think, and some high quality submissions. I think we all need to do more to try and get more submissions in for future conferences, more to the teaching community. But as I say, I guess people's first thought is to submit to their research area rather than submitting a teaching paper. So I think that's all for me for now. Thanks, Philippe.
Thank you so much, Maureen. So I think this is right, the program of panels and papers. I would like to share with everyone what we have put together in terms of the social event. So on the 20th of October, right, we have the traditional social at the hotel. And then after that, we will go for a boat trip. And this was again done together with the global strategy, the knowledge innovation, strategy practice, stakeholder strategy process, research methods, and us. So a lot of IGs joined forces to put together this boat trip. I hope that all of you have already signed up for it. The link here is on the slide. It is subsidized, so it's only $25 per person. But I think what's most interesting is is going to be a way of getting out of the conference hotel and kind of getting to know a little bit of Istanbul in the evening in that boat trip. I'm not sure if any of you have any question on the boat. I think the important thing is, as you look at the link, then you have all the details, what it kind of includes, and yeah, and it's done directly through the SMS website. So thanks SMS for kind of helping us creating that link for the registrations.
Just to add, Felipe, I think we have our 1 hour social at the hotel first, don't we? That's 6:30, and then we go for the boat cruise at 7:30. I think that's the way
Exactly.
it works. Yeah.
So it looks
Right.
like we'll be well fed then, right? There's a little bit of snacks or whatever before we go, and then it looks like there's some dinner here. So one doesn't need to eat before, I suppose. Yeah. So thank you.
Yes, and I think also, Aisha, that I think the way it's put together is to allow the different members of different divisions also to go together, so it should be more than just us. And as Maureen was saying before, sometimes, right, the teaching community is a smaller, everybody somehow is associated, but people many times identify themselves more with their research agenda. So I think it's also a good way for us to interact with the other IGs. The other item in my list here is so GI has put together a webinar on integrating AI into business school teaching. Kind of fantastic lineup of speakers. I think it's going to be officially announced later on, but please already mark your calendars. So this is right in different time zones, and again, I think we coordinated with SMS office because there were kind of different moments where this could be offered, but it was already too tight to do before the conference. So we set up it right after the conference, right 1 month after the conference, to have this webinar. So we cover a program, kind of Sunday panels, competitive program, social, now webinar. I think the next item in the list is the newsletter. Andrea.
So our newsletter is scheduled to be shared right around October 3rd. That'll be our pre-conference newsletter. In it, we'll have some information, just a recap of what we're talking about today, and a little bit of information about the various events that we have going on at the conference, and a link to sign up for the upcoming November webinar. And also probably some information about the committee members, and keep an eye out for that. That's going to be shared via member circle around October 6th.
Thank you so much, Andrea.
Andrea, I'm sorry, do you need information content for that, as far as like what so for example, the panel sessions, kind of the titles and the participants and those kinds of things?
because I'm
Okay.
going from my notes from this meeting. So
Great.
please send that to me.
Yes, maybe send me an email and remind me, and I'll certainly give you a laid out. I think the program, though, as it's printed or dispersed, I think that information is there, but I'm happy to collate that together and have you, in one easy spot for you to upload that. So yeah, send me an email. I'll fill you in on what's going on Saturday and Sunday.
All right, thanks.
Likewise on the competitive program, Andrea, if I can help. But as Scott says, I think there's a PDF out now, isn't there, of the conference program, which will probably tell, if you search on track T, then you quite quickly hit all the things we've been talking about, hopefully. Thanks.
Excellent. So I think next item in the agenda is elections, right? Every year we have elections for reps at large and a social program chair that then goes through a 3-year term. So we have received a number of people manifest their interest to us from different parts of the world. And so we should have a good lineup of candidates. We should also have kind of gender balance on the candidates, which is not always trivial, but I think we're happy to have it. And I think this IG over time, I think we have been good in that sense. And yeah, so just as Andrea was saying about the newsletter, also just kind of watch out for the emails when you receive, so you can vote for the candidates. I think that's all in terms of formal agenda. So let me stop sharing slides and open for any comments, questions.
Are we still recording or because
We are
yeah.
still recording, and I think Aisha, the main reason I understand is this is going to be shared on SMS website, so people who could not watch, who could not be here live, right, later on, they can go and quickly access the videos. And yeah, if we don't have anything formal, right, maybe
I have
Johnny
one
can
question. I
go
have
ahead,
one
Aisha.
question, I guess, would be, I know we had a conversation earlier about whether I could stand for election for associate program chair, but I'm wondering
Aisha, I
how
think maybe
how can
if it is a private matter,
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
we should discuss this offline.
We can, that's why I was asking. But the other question, though, is what if anyone who's viewing this recording would like to apply for be stand for election? Anyone who hasn't yet, is that still an option for them? Or has that process closed?
Right. So I think at this point, right, assuming that you were still running for it,
Yeah.
it is, we have 6 candidates for reps at large, and we have 2 candidates for social program chair.
Okay.
So we don't need more candidates for
Okay.
this year, right? But I think what we always encourage is that the people somehow get involved with the community. So, because we have elections every year
Yeah.
to this. I mean, if you change your mind in terms of the social program chair candidacy, but in that case, is this the case? You're no longer running as a
Oh
candidate?
no, I'm fine with running. I'm
Okay.
totally fine. We can
Okay.
talk about that separately. I just thought I'd open up the question just to anyone who's interested in joining our committee. I will just say it's a wonderful committee of great people. So if anyone's watching this recording, anyone else, or Michael, if you're interested, I would say it's a great committee to join. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Aisha. And I think is also true, right, that many times people get involved and they get involved over multiple years, right? Yeah, and I think this year sometimes people say that I cannot do this year, but I can do next year. So maybe the most important message is to say no, elections happen every year. And this is my last year in the division, but next year Maureen will become the chair and she'll be responsible for running the elections. So by all means, reach out to her and manifest your interest. There's also a more formal process that throughout the SMS system, right? People manifest during the year if they're interested in kind of joining the leadership of any division. And that information is also taken into account when we're looking for and contacting candidates. Candace?
Yeah, how long is the term for reps at large, and how many positions are open?
So it's 2, and every year we elect 3. So 2 years of term, we elect 3, and there's always 6 candidates.
Thank you.
And I think, and I think that happened with Scott here. And it's very normal, right, that people start as reps at large, and at a certain point, right, when they finish the second year, right, they can become a candidate for associate program chair. I think that's also what's happening with Aisha, that she served her 2 terms. She had 2 years of rep at large, and now she's a candidate for social program chair.
And on that, I think I served actually 2 terms as the rep at large. So I kind of went through a couple cycles of that just to kind of get my familiarity. And so it's not a definite, rep at large, then associate program chair. It's fine for people to kind of work as, and I know we're kind of adding layers of responsibilities within the rep at large as far as communication. Andrea's kind of taking that over. Jiao is doing the webinar. So there's ways, I think there's lots of ways to contribute and to be involved. And there's no pressure to move up the ranks, as it were. Once you kind of then it does kind of progress naturally. But reps at large, I think we're happy to have people who have experience, who want to be involved and want to contribute as much as they can. So there's lots of ways to do that.
Thank you, Scott. Aisha?
Yeah, Felipe, I just want to say officially, since this is being recorded and you will not be stepping down next year, that we won't be able to replace you. It's been absolutely fantastic to work with you and just have your leadership. And I may have mentioned this to you before, but I just learn from you. It's fantastic. So thank you very much. Yeah, you've been amazing. Yeah.
That's very kind of you, Aisha. So I have to have served and has been a pleasure working with all of you. And I think maybe one thing that I like also to say here is, we've been creating those share folders, and I'm trying to update them. So including the agenda for today's meeting, the list of candidates. So all those things are in the shared Dropbox folder that I shared with the leadership team. I'm not sure if Andrea and Candace, who joined this year, if you already have access to the folder or not. So I will send you the link. So I'll give a reply to all and send the link. But definitely Maureen, Scott, Aisha, that kind of when I created last year or 2 years before, I share with the team. And I'm saying this also to say, though, I think the importance of and the fact that we have those 3-year terms is also important, that we keep that continuity, right? And people, whomever joins, can go and look. So you can go and look and see, all the administrative documents and know how to make proposals and all those things. And yeah, and I hope this is helpful to more specifically to Maureen next year than to Scott, and then to whomever continues in the division. Is there any other question that you like to raise? If not, I think we should officially close, right? And thank everyone for watching it at a certain point, and encourage people to join, reach out to any of us individually or collectively, and we look forward to seeing everyone in Istanbul.
Yeah, and that includes Michael, who we hope to see if you're attending the conference. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks, Felipe and everyone. See you soon, right? In a few
soon.
weeks.
Thanks, everyone. Safe travels.
Yeah, thank you.
Safe travels, everyone. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.